Hey, how's it going? I'm Trevor Powell from Fish Forge Off-Road. I'm a Northern California saltwater kayak angler, and this is going to be the kayak that I'm using in the Kayak Angler Yak Offs. It is a Vibe Hydra 130. Let's get it unloaded, geared up. I'll get suited up, and we'll talk about it a little bit. Oh, baby! Oh! Now that we're on the beach, we're all loaded up, we're all geared up, safety always comes first. So let's go over some of the safety features that the Vibe Hydra 130 has, why I chose this kayak for the type of fishing that I'm doing here in Northern California. So this kayak is a narrow kayak. It's skinny, it's meant for crashing through the waves, launching through the surf. It's extremely stable, you're sitting low to it. It's meant to have minimal gear, but still upgrade and add things as you need them. One of the other nice features is how low profile the sides can be. So if you do end up going in, you can seal in fairly easy without having a whole bunch of extra accessories or gears in the kind of cockpit area, making it safe and easy re-entries. All right, now that we're done talking about some of the kayak safety features, let's talk about some of the safety features that I'm currently geared up in right now. So being in Northern California, our water temp tends to be around 50 degrees. So today I'm in a full dry suit. Other days I may be in a wetsuit. It kind of just depends on the ocean conditions. But if I do end up in the water without some type of a safety wetsuit, dry suit, you got about 30 minutes of water time before hypothermia could potentially set in. So it's nice to stay protected, have that extra layer, because if you do go in, you need it. You need it. The other big point is the life jacket, right? You need to have a nice, comfortable, big life jacket, something that you can trust out there on the water. I have the NRS Chinook. It says it right there in the name, Big Salmon. It's comfortable, allows for multiple pockets and all of the other safety gear that I need. For instance, the radio. Always have your radio on you. You always want to do radio checks before you leave. If your radio check fails, you should have your backup. If your backup's not working, you may not go out fishing that day. That's just kind of how it is. Safety knife is another big feature. You always want to have that safety knife where it's accessible if you need it. Another thing is you don't really want to use your safety knife. You don't want to be cutting bait open with it, because when it's time to use that knife, you want it to be sharp, right? You don't want it to fail. You don't want any issues to happen. So make sure you have that safety knife on you. Another big feature that I just recently picked up is the Guardian Angel. Being a kayak fisherman in foggy conditions, low on the water, you need to be visible. Hence the bright orange life jacket, and then of course the Guardian Angel on my chest, where I can kind of help alert people if I need to. Gives that little bit extra safety. All right, so speaking of the Vibe Hydra 130, I wanted to talk about some of the upgrades or changes, additions that I made to the Vibe platform itself. Now, as you can see, the decking has been upgraded. I just kind of did it for a little bit of flair, a little bit more grip. I kind of had fun with it. It was a cheap thing to do. Not only did I did the decking, I did the pedals, the cup holder in the middle, but then we also got the decking in the center hatch. and underneath the seat to kind of help prevent the pad from sliding like it likes to do sometimes, and adds a little bit more padding to yourself there. So one of those little features that really turned out pretty good in my opinion. One of the other things I did was I replaced the red clips that are on the center hatch here to more of like a cooler style in the front, so that you can all do it one-handed. When you do want to get inside, it's a little bit easier just to kind of pick it up, one-hand it, and get inside and get what you need to get. One of the other additions that I added was a cutting board. Obviously, it's just about the size of bait, which is really the only thing I'm doing. I really kind of like this area clear, so if you do end up getting a big fish, that big fish is basically sitting here, it's sitting in your lap while you get them on the stringer, you bonk them and secure them. So it's nice to have this clear space here, and then a little addition to a blue cutting board. My favorite features on my kayak is the addition of the Opah bag. The Opah bag allows me to not only keep some fresh bait nice and cool for all storage pretty much all day long if needed. It's got the super thick, no rockfish spines, but then I've thrown some giant fish in here. Keeps those fish out of the water where the tax collector may be. It's one of those things, I don't necessarily like bleeding fish on the side of my kayak. Sometimes I'll bleed them in the Opah bag just to kind of keep that blood out of the water. Keeps them up, keeps them cold all day if it gets warm out there. Opah bag, nice secured on the Vibe kayak by multiple little carabiners on the side. They did a good job kind of allowing features to be added with the little rope. And then I got a carabiner in the front that keeps it all secure if I do end up flipping. You may be wondering with my DrySuit, but yes, I did go color coordinated. All right, one of the sponsors that I had for this yak off was Guardian Angel. So Guardian Angel makes an amazing little micro light here that I was talking about earlier on my Lifejacket. One simple press, adding visibility to myself out there on the water. But let's talk about their kayak light kit. First off, we have the bow light up front. Your nice red green, adds the visibility, goes on top of my Opah bag, gets me on top of the water, adds that much more visibility. One of the nice features with the Guardian Angel kayak kit is it comes with a controller. So I can control everything with a touch of a button. I can even kind of press it. If you look now I'm going to be extremely visible as I got kind of the strobe pattern going on. Just kind of adding that little safety feature to my kayak while I'm out there on the water. And then of course, we have to have the kayak safety flag as well. And they make a very nice topper that goes with it, a nice mount that goes up on top. And again, with the click of a button from the controller, you can add the strobe feature to it. Now, one of the reasons why I went with the Guardian Angel flag is because it's a stiff flag. It's always kind of out there. If you don't have wind, your flag just kind of droops. With the Guardian Angel flag, it's much wider, much more visible. And then of course, I have to have the California Republic flag up there as well. So Guardian Angel, some great products, make you more visible on the water. All right. Today on the Hydra 130, we're running the Bixby. I used the Bixby to help me troll, help me get out to the spot, kind of also help stay in the condition. Out here you have big tides, a lot of current, so it's hard to stay on those rocks. It's hard to get out to those areas sometimes if the tide's sucking in, coming out. So it just kind of depends. That Bixby gives you that extra boost to be out there for the whole day. Trolling, I just was out salmon trolling for a good 4 hours on this. Now you can see my battery is mounted in front of my black box up there. giving me easy access to where I can make changes. I have a spare battery inside my black box so I can swap things out real quickly. And we were talking about safety earlier. The Bixby has a little kill cord. So always attach your kill cord. If you fall off with the motor engaged, it's gonna kill real quickly. If not, what's really nice about the Bixby is everything is controlled by the hand bracelet. Basically get out on the water, you wanna go forward, go back, and then the stop button, of course. So Bixby powered, out there trolling all day with really minimal effort. So safety first, let's hit the water. So before we get into my kayak, the gear, all the setup and the equipment, I kind of wanted to introduce myself a little bit, let you get to know me, let you understand why I go by Fish Forage off-road, and get into it a little bit. So first and foremost, my name is Trevor Powell. Like I said earlier, I'm a Northern California fisherman. What do I mean by Northern California? Well, I mean North Bay. So we're about an hour north of San Francisco, or about 3 hours north depending on traffic, in Sonoma County. Santa Rosa, California is my town. Originally born in San Francisco, but my family moved up north when I was around 5 years old. I'm around 41 right now. So been in Santa Rosa pretty much my whole life. Moved to Maine for a couple of years with my family. My family consists of me, my beautiful wife Lisa of 15 years of this year. We've been together over 20 years. Pretty much don't know life without her at this point. And then of course we have two amazing sons. We have Logan, who's behind the camera right now. He is 13, and then we also have Henry. He's running around here somewhere acting crazy. Both my boys like fishing. They kind of go up and down with fishing right now. I think they're kind of hooked on bass fishing a little bit. The cameraman there is trying to catch his first carp, which is always fun. And he's also very creative, as you'll come to find out a little bit later. So I am a weekend warrior fisherman. During the week, I'm a production manager for a local manufacturing company. I manage around 60 employees on 2 shifts. I have an amazing team of employees, but like I said, on the weekends is when I'm going out having as much fun as I can. If I'm not fishing with myself, then we're out foraging for wild mushrooms, clams, Dungeness crab, or we are out off-roading in our truck over there. So that's where Fish Forage Off-Road comes from. Fishing, foraging, off-roading. If we're not out fishing, we're foraging or off-roading. Pretty much every weekend we're out having fun, doing something in the amazing, beautiful Northern California area that we're in. So let's get into it. All right, now that we're back to the house, I wanted to go over the heart and brains that powers and controls my Vibe Hydra 130. So everything is currently controlled by the YakPower system. So I've got a nice little wireless controller, basically turn everything on and off as needed. From the fish finder to the bow lights, the midship lights, the stern lights, which stern lights are more my work lights on the back and inside my hatch. So that way, working at night, can always see stuff in there. And then number 2 is my safety spotlight. So if I need to, I can kind of shine this around, get a little bit extra light, show some boats if I need to, make myself a little bit more visible. but my brains are all inside my hatch here. So inside my YakPower battery box, I have a Nocqua 20 amp battery that is running everything. Let's see if I can, we'll unplug it real quick and bring it out. So we have a Nocqua 20 amp hour battery running everything, and then my YakPower 5-circuit relay switching system is mounted inside there. What's nice is once this is inside my kayak, it never needs to come out. I'm able to plug it in through one of the ports in the back to charge my Nocqua, or I can reach around the front and charge the Nocqua that way. So once everything's in there, it really never needs to come out. And then it's nice kind of wedged inside here with a little pad. And then I've made sure to kind of go through my wires as much as I can and kind of clean those up, get those mounted in place so they're not really rattling around a lot. The battery just slides right back in. And then of course you got a little bit of wedges to kind of wedge it tight in place. Midship, stern, you got your front lights, your bow lights, safety light, and then of course the fish finder. Turn it on, you're ready to go. Also on the front we have the YakPower one-hand phone charger, which this thing is really nice to be able to use on the water one-handed. Even with my big phone case, it still works really nice. One-hand operation, and that guy is also powered by a Nocqua 20 amp hour battery inside my center hatch here. So you can see another nice little Nocqua inside there. Hidden that we have on the Hydra. So we have my front safety lights, the bow lights, the red and the green. So running the pod lights. So the pod lights are all controlled by the midship controller, where the bow is all plugged by the bow controller. So we got the blues in front. We have the greens in the middle. The greens are a little bit more brighter, a little bit easier to see sometimes at night when you're loading up, where the blues are kind of more of like the mood kind of lighting. Really kind of light. And then we also have the blues all the way in the back, just to kind of help light up that back tank well. Some of my favorite lights are the lights that are in the Yak Attack black pack that we have here. That's all plugged in through with the YakPower port, all controlled again by my wireless controller. And really those just kind of shine when I'm sitting inside. They kind of shine right to my side, so if I'm tying a knot in the morning, I can see it. I'm visible a little bit more. Not really for safety, more for working. I kind of routed the lights inside, the wiring inside, and actually got another lid, cut the lid so all the wires is kind of underneath. And then on the side, don't know if you can see it, but we have a Yak Attack little side port where it's coming through. Made for an easy system, so everything is controlled again by that YakPower system. All right, I am now running the Lawrence Eagle 9 on my Hydra build, and that again is all kind of routed through the YakPower system here. Really nice little unit. I did a little customization myself to get it to plug into the Hydra. I actually used the cutting board material, same cutting board material that I made my little custom cutting board here. I'm pretty much going to run split screen the whole time I'm out there, running GPS mapping on one side. The other side is basically just kind of the live scope or the bottom contours. I don't need much. I just really am looking for structure on the bottom. This Eagle 9 Lawrence system makes that happen for me. All right, we're getting comfortable now. but I wanted to talk about my Scotty products that I have. So with the Scotty mount, I run 2 different types of systems. Out here, being a Northern California saltwater angler, there's really 2 types of assisting that I need out there. The first off, the one that I use the most is the Scotty pop puller. So just a super simple little bearing, helps me get out. When I go out Dungeness crabbing, I like dropping some Promar ambush hoop nets. It's nice to get the rope off the side of your kayak so you're not rubbing the side of your kayak, doing damage to it, and then it also makes it easier for my back. I don't have the best back, so being able to get the rope over the puller and just kind of pull over you makes it very simple. The other attachment that I really use out here in Northern California is we have a very limited salmon season. This year, I think it was, I don't know, we had maybe 6 days, 7-day salmon season, something like that. Let's see if I can actually take this thing out. There we go. So with the limited salmon season, I'm running a downrigger, or a lot of times I'll go on the lake, do some lake trolling. So it's nice to have a downrigger as well. So Scotty makes a very nice, very small lake troller. But believe it or not, I take it out on the ocean as well, and I'll drop a 6-pound ball down and troll for salmon. Successfully, I should say. This last salmon season that we had about 4 days. I had one opportunity to get out there. So with the combo, downrigger, 6-pound ball, my custom rod, ended up hooking up to a salmon, landed it successfully. A nice little 10-pound king salmon. So, and then of course, if I'm not running anything, I can just pop everything off, leave it back at the truck, and it's not too much of an issue. My lines aren't going to get stuck on it. If I'm out halibut, rock fishing, it's kind of out of the way. So makes for a nice little attachment. Yak Attack is pretty much sprinkled throughout this entire build. I currently am looking at getting a new action camera, but I got my camera mount in the front. Really nice articulating arms. You can kind of move it around as much as you need, and then you can always kind of use it as the selfie stick if you need to. Real easy with the lock and load system there. One of the things that's kind of unique that I really like running is my dual paddle holder with the Omega on top of it. So it really kind of makes for a compact little unit, one base. I can switch this out if I really wanted to. I also have the AR tube that I like running with a couple different rods. It kind of depends what I'm fishing for, and I may switch out the Omega for the AR tube. Kind of depends. What's nice is Yak Attack kind of allows you to make it yours and change things out as you need to. And of course on the back we have the Yak Attack black pack, should I say teal pack on the back. I really like the size. The 13 by 13 kind of was perfect for me. I was lucky enough, I ended up buying one of these teals a few years back, believe it or not, for one of my wife's sups. And when it came time to this build, the color just matched perfectly. So I have this thing extremely secured. I have the Yak Attack vertical tie downs, and then I have the Yak Attack 3-foot straps that I turned into like a 1/2-foot strap here, just to kind of make it really secure. If I'm out on the water going through surf, I end up tipping, this guy is not moving at all. Really important, everything is tied down. So the black pack makes you, allows you to have that option. And then of course on the front of my black pack, I have my Bixby battery mounted. And that's also mounted with the Yak Attack strap. Just really secure, that thing's not going anywhere. Makes a really nice feature. I can turn around, unplug it, and then if I need to, I also like to carry a spare. So it's kind of nice to have that spare Bixby battery if you need to. And then Yak Attack really makes a nice little storage binder here. So I can pretty much kind of go through the day, tailor what I'm gonna fish for, kind of load up some hookup baits in there right now. Some Gibbs spoons. There's a whole bunch of Madame Lure soft plastics in here. So I'll kind of load up what I want for the day, what am I fishing for, and kind of tailor my bait locker to kind of bait binder for what I'm gonna go fishing for. And then what else is inside the black pack is my first aid kit, which is kind of a little necessity, nice to have on the water. You get hurt, another kayaker gets hurt, a random boater gets hurt, you have a little first aid kit. So I added a tourniquet to mine. Of course, you got to have the de-hooker. You're out there by yourself, you want to make sure that you can properly de-hook yourself. And then of course Yak Attack just kind of put together just a really nice first aid kit that pretty much has everything that you might need. Some band-aids, gauze, things like that. I added some chafing butter, a cold pack to it, a couple of other little items to it, but really nice little kit. And of course, always got to have some water. So Vibe has a nice little water bottle with a little holder. I kind of mounted in there as well. So that way it's always within reach. Reach around, grab my water. Last little feature from the Yak Attack is the net. What I really like about this net is, as a kayaker, one hand's on your rod and reel. You're trying to work with one hand, so having the leverage landing net, being able to reach out, use that leverage of the foregrip, get that big fish, makes it really secure. And then of course, as you can see, everything's got to be tied down. So I had my oldest son Logan make me some custom tie down ropes here. So I think he did a really good job. You'll see I got a couple of them. Like I said, everything's got to be tied down. You never know what's going to happen out on the ocean. You may end up in the water, launching, landing, so everything's always got to be tied down. The Yak Attack Black Pack also holds my fishing armory club. So nice little 20 millimeter bunker. And then of course the nice gaff. Gaff's always there if you need it. Little mini tennis ball. I've been getting pretty good at gaffing. At first I was always kind of iffy about gaffing, but with this system, gaffing them, getting them onto your lap, getting them onto the stringer real quick, bonking them, throwing them into the Opah bag, makes for a fun, exciting day on the water. So always a fun time. And then of course, if we're going for salmon, obviously that's not going to work. So that's where the Promar net comes into play. As you can see, I think I can fit my youngest son inside this net, but that's what it takes for salmon fishing. So you're reaching out, scooping, making sure you secure that fish, and nice collapsible so it's not too much of a sail if you're out there on the water. Not horrible. Once you get out there, once you start fishing, you obviously raise it up, lock it into place, and then you're ready to catch some big fish. All right, so that was my walkthrough. This is my Hydra. I don't know what y'all think about it, but I love it. It's comfortable on the water, gets me on the fish. I'm always kind of changing things up, no matter where I am, whether I'm on the ocean, I'm on a lake, I kind of change it, put different things on. Once crabbing comes here pretty soon, the Opah bag will come off, crab pots will go on the back. I'll get a burlap sack for the back so that way we can stuff some crab in it. Crab may just go straight into the black pack. But one of the things I love about it, different platforms, different fishing. I kind of change it for the season, change it for the what I'm targeting, whether it's crabbing, fishing, or just going out with the family and having fun. Love my Hydra, love the Vibe Kayak line. Definitely check out Kayak Angler Magazine's Yak Offs. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd definitely like to hear from you. What would you like to see? Would you make any changes? Let me know. Tight lines, safe travels.